Hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome to another gameplay series. I'm assuming this is going to be a series. Hopefully, it's not too short. This is of a game called Who is the Red Queen? Now, from what I can tell, I just saw it on itch.io. It seems like one of those Alice in Wonderland kind of things. And you know me, I love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite tales to this day. But anyways, yeah, it was free on itch.io. I saw it. I decided, you know what? Why not get it? So, I got nothing else left for the intro, so let's just jump in. Oh, I have to use enter to select. That's weird. Music down the rabbit hole. Ooh. I descend through the starry sky. My long blonde hair and red cape flew wildly as I looked to the ground below me with my blue eyes. Falling. I was falling down this rabbit hole with no start nor end. I was falling. Where had I gone? Where could I go? As if were forgetting something very important. I fell down through the sparkling, shining darkness. Too bright to be dark, too dark to be bright. I must have been chasing after someone, after something. Like a girl whose curiosity was piqued by a rabbit with a watch. Ah, see, there it is. They actually reference Alice in Wonderland. That's cool. I was falling down again and again and again. This endless well seemed to lead somewhere yet nowhere at once. Either the hole extended very deep or I descended very slow. Was I truly going downwards? Perhaps this was all a dream. A fever dream. Or in more words, a fantasy that would be as soon forgotten as it was had. I just held one certainty. I was Alice. Alice was me. Now then, just how long was I supposed to keep falling? The air brushed past my fingers like my cloak, and ruffling upwards, a quiet humming breeze caressed my cheek. As if I could hear someone's voice, a pleasant voice, a woman's voice. I strained my ears for whispers in the wind. Alice, what time for madness? What a time for madness. Without a bit of fear or vertigo, should you not have focused on the topics more pressing? Like the darkness or the light, or how you couldn't even awaken from this dream. But even now, you were just falling. What does it matter? With a thump, I came upon soft grass and the fall was over. Not a bit hurt, I forced myself to my feet. Up above my head, with the fermented whence I fell had not a tear in its blue canvas, or a tear in its blue canvas. Down about my eyes, only unfamiliar surrounded me. I started on an exploratory stroll. Oh, who are you? Soon I stumbled upon a rabbit who looked like a girl, or a girl who looked like a rabbit. Perhaps the correct answer was that she was both a girl and a rabbit. She had white hair and floppy rabbit ears, pale skin, and purple eyes. Her hair was tied into low ponytails by white ribbons, a clock pin adorning her bangs. She wore gloves with an oversized blue coat with golden accents and a red vest over a dress shirt tied to a black ribbon. She also had khaki pants tucked into her boots. She looked quite scared as she stood in the forest clearing. She was even holding her hands to her chest. Not lingering much longer on the species of rabbit before me, I called out to her. Excuse me. Calling out to her caused her to jump. Where was this place? Why was I here? And how could I leave to return home? I thought of what to ask her, but she recognized me as soon as I spoke, so my questions were lost in my mouth unasked. She looked at me with troubled eyes. Alice? White Rabbit? Have you seen Her Majesty? Do you know where she's gone? Where she could go? Her Majesty, the Red Queen, she must be taking a vacation of sorts. I only wish that she could have left this little rabbit a note. I'm in a bit of a panic, you see. The land can't run without its queen. She then took on a distracted look. Please let me know if you catch sight of her. I nodded. Also, don't mind me, guys. I'm just eating as well, so... Oh, okay, wait. My mouse looks really weird. Okay, so I can save, like here. Oh, the save slots look really nice. Chapter 0. Who this Red Queen was, I had not a clue but a tingle of deja vu. But my acceptance of the request led the White Rabbit to breathe out a sigh of relief. Just as I prepared to pose my own questions, she straightened her back in surprise. I'm afraid I have to go. I'm going to be late. The White Rabbit dashed off. I wanted to ask some questions. Never mind that. Follow her, Alice. Although I chased after her with only a moment's pause, when I turned to a corner, she was nowhere to be seen. There was only a forest path before me. I found myself in a garden meticulously kept. There was a large white gazebo in the center with a table and chairs for tea. Tailing the rabbit, I barely dashed a few paces. I hadn't realized such a place was so close by. Rather, I didn't realize I had run this far. A conjecture tickled my mind that was this world I fell into was a magical place, one with paths that pointed to one way but twisted to another. Oh, God. With an explanation much more far-fetched than me just not knowing where I was running. I took a moment to catch my breath. Glancing around, I began to walk about the garden, flowers and greenery and all around, but not a person in sight. This place was beautiful. I wanted to meet the person who made it. Not quite a gardening person myself, I still appreciated the pretty place and felt a swelling excitement to explore what sights could be seen. A reminder of reality then dampened my joyful curiosity. I wanted some answers, a way out and back home. As pleasant as dreams were, one had to be able to awaken from them before they turned into nightmares. Whether this was a dream or reality had still yet to be seen. Step, I walked around. Hop, hop, I peered over the bushes. But soon enough, I discovered the heart of the garden where one might sit for tea. I spotted a white-haired girl in the garden. Oh! To amend my previous thoughts, wouldn't it be right to say that I'd rather also appreciated a pretty person? Her hair was long and reached her shoulders, her pale skin and her eyes a light purple. So she was also adorned with a regal blue-white dress that was so long to hit her feet. Her expression was quite distant and calm. I noticed bandages wrapped on her right hand, which was gently clasped over her left in front of her. Frivolous thoughts flew my mind as our eyes met. Her gaze seemed to beckon me over, so over I went to speak with her. She opened her mouth to speak. Are you enjoying the garden? White Queen! The garden is beautiful. The gardener will be happy to hear that from you. However, if you come here now, you should be searching for something. We should first introduce ourselves. She gave me a sad smile. I am the White Queen. Just like with the rabbit, for reasons unclear to me, I already knew who she was. Here, that should be a good as a name. Your Majesty, my name is Alice. She frowned. I don't stand on ceremony, Alice. I am not someone you need to speak with particularly respectfully. Welcome to my garden in Wonderland. Oh, so we are in Wonderland. That makes a lot of sense. That sad smile returned to her face. Wonderland. I tasted the word on my tongue. I I can't remember why or how I'm here. Not this garden, but Wonderland. Once again she frowned. Eh, I was falling, and I couldn't remember why I was falling. I was simply falling until I felt no more. I'm sure I've forgotten something very important. That pained smile returned. You needn't force yourself to remember. Some things are better left forgotten. Perhaps it was fated for you to come here. Perhaps something is missing that you must find. This world must appear to a place like a place of dreams. You should find the Red Queen. The missing queen whom the White Rabbit mentioned was the Red Queen. Then came the troubled look. I waited for the White Queen to continue. She hesitated to speak of the Red Queen, as if the elusive royal would appear like a ghost behind her as she spoke. I tried to imagine what sort of person the Red Queen was. She will let you return to your own reality. To your own reality. When you meet her, you should be able to find all the answers you are seeking for. As for where she is, that is for you to discover. Do you dislike her? At first she pursed her lips, as if troubled again. Then came that somber smile. That's a difficult question, Alice. So she's like that. I'll let you judge for her yourself. You might learn something new about yourself. Shall I head off to find her? Now? Her face lit up a bit. Why not stay for some tea? Of course I'd love to, but it's not quite afternoon tea time yet. She smiled, this time much happier. A later time then. Certainly to have tea outside of tea time wouldn't do. That smile softened into a fond one as she lowers her lids. I won't keep you for too much longer, Alice. I'm sure you will be able to find that person soon enough. Until later. I waved goodbye to the White Queen and departed from her garden. Glancing back, I saw her gaze linger upon me. The poor smile of hers had turned somber again. The search for the Red Queen. If you guys wondered, the music is on the top left corner, if you guys are wondering. I stepped into a twisting path in the forest. I didn't know which way to go to find the elusive Red Queen, turning left and right. To find a queen, I thought to seek a castle. However, the rabbit said that the queen was missing, so unless the rabbit had also forgotten something very important, the queen shouldn't have been in the castle. The Red Queen seemed like she seemed like a troubling person. The way the White Queen's face froze, tongue stuttering along, at the topic of the Red Queen, made me wonder, was the latter queen a tyrant or a fool? The tutor at home liked to talk about kingship of that sort. To me, either or neither were fine. After all, who were the peasantry to affect the mood of High Queen? I hummed and walked along with a skip in my step. Just as I reached a rhythm in my stride, I kicked a little something. An animal? That threw me off my beat. I slowed to applaud. My mood, a note dampened. Soon I heard the chatter of a girl a few trees away. Seeing not much civilization here in the forest, I followed the voice of the girl. Sorry, I'm trying to do my best female voice. I'm not that good with it. Although she was chattering, I heard her voice alone. Oh? Oh, I already like her design. It looks really nice. I passed by a few bushes and soon enough found a tea party in the middle of nowhere. At a table set before the tree sat the girl. A white cloth table was littered all over sorts of tea time things from a tower with cookies and cupcakes. Okay, so I'm assuming just from looking at her that this is the Mad Hatter. With all sorts of tea time things from a tower with cookies and cupcakes. Oh, I'm such in the mood for cupcakes and cookies right now. Damn it. A rubber duck and a cake with knives in it, pictures and with dozens of tea tags and stacks of dishes. In the center, there even laid a green vase with a dead, plucked apart red rose. Beside it, some petals sat in the water. The girl had long pink hair and an uneven side bangs, pale skin, first eye red and second yellow. Oh, so she has like heterochromia. I really like characters that have heterochromia. It always makes them look so cool. A smile was on her features as that contrasted with her eye bags. Her outfit was just as chaotic as the table. Under her black trench coat was a loose dress shirt tied with a large purple ribbon. She also wore checkered purple pants and white laced-up shoes. On her glove hand sat two hand puppets, a white hare with a yellow straw hat and a red bow tie, and a gray dormouse with a little pink flower perched by her ear. But the most glaring of all of her large black was her large black top hat, wrapped haphazardly in the purple ribbons, with a piece of paper taped to it. "Hello there, Alice. What did you come here for?" Her chatter ceased. Her mismatched eyes pierced through me in its place. I noticed a little fang in her mouth as she opened. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. "There's no room here at the table, so don't take a seat." No room. The girl gave a wide grin as she was wont to do frequently. In fact, it was rare that smile was wiped off from her face. She moved the puppets in her hands and a sleepy mouse and a mad hare. Looking right and left, I could barely see the ends of the table for the tea. One person in such a large space. Conversely, she almost seemed lonely. "There's plenty of room, Hatter." Her smile shrunk a bit. To make my point, I took a seat in a large armchair across from the Mad Hatter. The chair stunk of flowers as if to clear away the shadow of an unpleasant previous sitter. I sank back into it comfortably. Then I kept sinking before I jolted back up with a shallow gasp. "Three's plenty your crowd. That's rude of you to say, Alice. Not very civil of you to sit down without being invited either." She granted me a cheeky grin and a wink. Aww. "But whatever. Let's just treat you as our extra guest for tomorrow." "Not today?" "Aren't they the same? Yesterday, today, tomorrow, every day is never a day different. But since I'd rather not deal with it today, we just treat it as for tomorrow. Dormouse and March don't mind." "You mentioned 3, but I only see 1. She wiggled the puppets in her hands as if to explain everything. One was herself, 2 was the first puppet, and 3 was the second puppet. "I'm scared Alice might be blind." Her mad smile became a mad grin once more. "That's a side effect of being Alice. Don't worry. It's just a side effect of being Alice." She sneered. The pitch of her voice warped. "Don't mind their comments. The Dormouse and he March Hare." She is Dormouse and he's March Hare. She paused as if waiting for for me to greet the animal puppets. I waited. She waited. Her smile did not falter. In fact, it only widened in anticipation. The silence of the conversation bored me, so I relented to the Mad Hatter's wordless request, and I was their guest for tomorrow, so a polite guest, as I decided to be. Well, hello there. Her smile became ordinary again. I was scared she was deaf as well. Hello there, Alice. It seemed whenever she made the puppets talk, she often took on a more neutral expression and kept her mouth closed like a ventriloquist. Must be a really good ventriloquist then. Between the puppets, I much prefer the dormouse. If the puppet could fall asleep, she looked as if she was about to do so. I felt some pity, as that meant the March Hare would speak more. What were we talking about before? A riddle? Maybe it was this one. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Do you have an answer to that riddle? You're no fun, Alice. Relax and have some wine. There is no wine? You are invited for tea tomorrow, Alice. It's an obligation of the host to offer a guest a drink at tea time. Maybe she was an alcoholic. Hatter, I can't, in good faith, call this time of day tea time, nor can I call alcohol tea. Details. Add some butter here. Add some butter. It'll be tea time eventually. So it's tea time now. Yeah, we're having tea, so it might as well be tea time, don't you think? What'd you come here for anyways? Although I couldn't quite say why I had come to this tea party with the goal in mind, I figured I might as well tell her. I'm searching for the Red Queen. Her brow contorted as she took a sip of her tea. The puppet sat down for that moment. Dumping the tea away and rinsing the cup, she poured herself another drink. Her mismatched eyes narrowed. Oh, her. The Hatter placed her lips on the rim of her teacup and stared at me. A minute passed, and all 60 seconds consisting of staring, before she ducked down under the table as if to find an item and popped back up again. Her expression was back to the usual state. Stay and chat for a little. I'll help you with a little something regarding Her Majesty. The Hatter poured me a cup of tea and slid over a plate of sandwiches. The Hatter's smile became wide. The plate hurtled towards me, forcing me to hurriedly grab it lest sandwiches spilled over my lap. Luckily, the cup of tea arrived much more calmly. I took a taste, finding Earl Grey. Ooh, dude. If you guys don't know, Earl Grey is actually one of my favorite types of tea. It's really good. Is it tomorrow already? At the very least, it wasn't time for afternoon tea. If I knew, I would have tea now. But I would have stayed a little longer to have some with the White Queen as well. It was not that people couldn't have tea outside of the afternoon tea, but it was a principle of things. If people drank tea any time of day, they would drink it all day. I sipped some more, enjoying the citrusy flavor of this black tea. Today is tomorrow for yesterday, don't you think? Unless she doesn't think that would also have been rude of you to ask. She's just normal. Or orthogonal? I'm certainly sitting up quite straight. But regarding the Red Queen, do you have some news about her? I'd say I have some business with her instead. Something to do with meat and flesh and all other red things that the Red Queen might have to do with. Aren't you a hatter? She grinned widely. Yes, not a butcher. Unless your meat is made out of hat. While talking about all things unappetizing, I took a bite of a sandwich filled with an ambiguous color. A milky sweetness melted in my mouth. I tasted some sort of fruit inside. Maybe it was a mango or a kiwi or a strawberry. Satisfied with the pleasant sweetness, I took a sip of tea. This tea and these sandwiches are delicious. Thank you, Alice. You made them? Compliments to you, then. The Hatter grinned with a wink. Wow, such flattery! Since you put me in a good mood, I guess we can go ahead with Her Majesty's matter. She smiled as if laughing. In fact, she's been sitting here with us the whole time. I sat up straighter in confusion. Glancing around, I saw no queens in sight. Not a human, nor animal besides the two of us here. The Hatter rolled a chair over and pulled a cloth from over the chair's holdings. Ta-da! Nausea ran up my spine. Dismemberment. On the chair sat a chunk of meat dressed up in tattered human clothes. Still dripping red, the flesh seemed to ripple, undulating. It was rotting, or was it still alive? My head spun as I squinted at the thing. This thing resembled a human torso with half a neck and chopped off limbs, dolled up with what could have been fancy clothes. This was surely human flesh. Oh, this is disturbing. I sensed an odd familiarity of the torso, but also felt as if I was looking at it from an incorrect angle. This was the torso of a regal woman. This was raw human flesh. I'm gonna save just in case. This is the Red Queen? The Hatter's eyes narrowed again and brows furrowed, still smiling. An inappropriate question flitted across my mind. Could we consider it as sitting if it didn't have legs? I suppose yes? I thought you said you weren't a butcher, Hatter. We definitely couldn't consider this a hat. Having just eaten, the strawberry taste in my mouth turned to a meaty texture like raw pork. I could almost taste sweet rotten fat. I swallowed. Her expression returned to normal. I wondered if the Hatter wanted to make me sick. The Hatter gave me a wide smile. Yes, I am a Hatter. I closed my eyes and rubbed the bridge of my nose. Too distracted by surprise, the feelings of my fingers almost felt like wet ground meat, even though I was sure that my digits were still attached to my palm. I imagined lingering uncomfortably behind my eyelids, not with disgust, but with another inexplicable emotion, a negative one for sure. I looked at the torso again, and it seemed so still. I saw the exposed bone and a shattered trachea. Oh god, that's probably brutal. The cut must have not been wholly clean. I made with a blade sharpened not quite enough yet to dulled, not quite enough. Yes, this was the Red Queen. I knew not why I knew, but a voice in the back of my head told me that this was the Red Queen, a part of the Red Queen. I'm afraid Her Majesty can't speak right now. The Hatter stirred her tea and popped a little bite-sized sandwich in her mouth, munching happily. She sneered. Don't look like that, Alice. The Hatter didn't dismember Her Majesty. Yes, Hatter is innocent. Since only the Hatter spoke up in defense of herself, I wasn't particularly inclined to believe her. But whether or not she did kill the Red Queen, the end result sat before me. What should I do now? I murmured my uncertainty at this dead end aloud. She smiled as if nothing was wrong. What do you mean? All you have to do is find all the other pieces. If you have anything you need Her Majesty for, all you need to do is put her back together. Have you forgotten, Alice? That sounded mad. I mean, this is the Mad Hatter we're talking about here. It only makes sense that I'd be mad. so mad I wanted to laugh. This is Wonderland after all. All I needed was to do was find the other pieces. Okay, I'm just testing something. Wait, OBS. Never mind. That was right, Alice. All you need to do. That's all you need to do. It would either be terribly simple or terribly hard. I hope that no one had fed the Red Queen to the pigs or minced her up for a patty. Regardless, all I really needed was the head and the torso if I wanted to talk to her and to ask her about the secrets of returning home. May I take the body with me? The Hatter narrowed her eyes. Alice, you were a civil girl. Did you really want to lug around a piece of meat like you were some meat seller? Selling to cannibals? The Hatter winked cheekily. No, that wouldn't be fair, don't you think? Once you find most of her parts, let's just say all the limbs, I'll give you a special present and help you out again. She patted a box off to the side of the table. The box was just as big enough for a cat, or a cake, or maybe something like a hat. Of course, don't peek or try to find out what's in the present. It wouldn't be a surprise like that. I think I may have a feeling what it is. I'll be very, very upset if you cheat. With that smile on her face, I couldn't see her upset. Only muddled sincerity came through her voice. The Hatter's mismatched eyes wandered, looking distracted as she did so. Now then, I've got to grab something off the stove before it burns. The Hatter got up from her seat and walked away. Here I was alone with the Red Queen's flesh. It was missing all 4 limbs and a head. So to make her whole, I need to find 5 parts. I hoped that my search would be easy. Oh, we actually have choices in this game. Okay. I was beginning to think this was just gonna be one big ass story that I had to read. I'm gonna save here. Okay, so we have 2 choices. Sneak around and peek, or listen to the Hatter. Since the Hatter was not in sight, I contemplated a decision regarding the curious box on the table. But the Hatter said not to sneak around and peek. The Hatter said not to peek. Oh, I really think I know what's in that box. It's gotta be like her head or something. Or it seems like it's big enough for a hat, she said though, so it could be a hat. Or a cat. Cat in the Hat, anybody? No? Okay. Let's go ahead and just listen to the Hatter. I think we can trust her. As mad as she is, I think we can trust her. I shook my head. Instead of antagonizing the Hatter needlessly, I decided to take another sip of the tea. I would see what was inside the box eventually. The Hatter returned soon enough. Her puppets were absent. Rather, in her hand was a hammer glowing bright with heat. She chuckled. She tucked it to the side with a thump and let the metal sizzle to the ground. What was the hammer for? She grinned. Does a hammer need a reason to be? Anyways, go ahead and try to find some of the Red Queen's body. An arm, a head, or maybe 2. Just bring them back here for me to attach to this. She pointed to the torso. It'll still be tea time when you come back. Let's just count you as an extra guest for the next tomorrow as well. To be exact with time, now was not tea time. I suppose there's not much else to do here. The Hatter's expression dampened a bit as I responded. I looked at my empty cup of Earl Grey and lifted myself from the armchair. For what it was worth, I quite enjoyed this odd-hour tea. Shaking my my legs just to make sure that I didn't fall asleep, I started to leave. Until later, auf Wiedersehen. Is that German? Actually, hold on. Let me look it up as. Okay, yeah, it is it is German. Auf Wiedersehen. It literally just means goodbye. Okay. She leaned back in her chair and made a lazy wave my way. Somehow, she looked lonely. I returned to another forest path, walking forward and forward. After moving for a while, I realized I had no idea where I was going. In simpler words, I was lost. I walked around in a few circles before looking upward. Above, I saw a cat. The Cheshire Cat! Honestly, I kind of like this design for her. Wait, is it a girl? I mean, it could be a very short-haired boy, I don't know. A cat who resembled a girl, or a girl who resembled a cat, leisurely stood on a tall branch of a tree. She had a sharp green-yellow eyes, pale skin, and a cat-like smile. Her brown hair was tied in a ponytail with an orange ribbon, and her 2 cat ears on top of her head looked quite fluffy. She wore an orange cape with 3 black stripes and a fluffy white collar with a tattered short black dress underneath. Adorned around her neck was a collar with a bell. Her one visible arm had a shackle around the wrist. For her clawed hands, there appeared to be something like stitches to the point where arm and shoulder connected. Unlike the white rabbit, this cat, the Cheshire Cat, I couldn't help but wonder if she was actually neither a cat nor a girl, and was just pretending to be one. I met her cat eyes nodding in silent greeting. Her grin stretched across her face as she stared right back. Sharp teeth filled her mouth and claws adorned her. This was probably a cat. Cheshire. The flame that was her tail flickered, and she hopped down to meet me closer. I don't suppose you'd tell me which way I go? Her eyes narrowed in amusement. I posed a silly question, and I expected no answer after all, I was asking a cat for directions. Depends on where you want to go. To my surprise, I received a response. To find the Red Queen. Ah, the crazy one. Are you sure you'd prefer not to go with the nice one? The one I'm searching for is the Red Queen. Alright, the Mad Queen. Then again, we're all mad around here. That is, except for Her Majesty the White Queen. She's too sad to be mad. If you're looking for the Red Queen, up, up, down, down, left, right might help. Is that the Konami code? That's the freaking Konami code. Okay, so I know that some games have like an interactive Konami code thing. But, I'm actually going to try up, up, down, down, left, right. Wait, what? High tech. Pull back. Oh, I can actually use the arrow keys to... Oh, I can actually adjust the opacity of the text box. Hold up. Oh, that's cool. So you can actually see the full design. That's way better. The cat jeered. Self-awareness, Alice. Self-awareness. The Cheshire Cat vanished in thin air. Oh, is it because the Cheshire Cat can break the 4th wall? Oh, I love that. That's cool. Soon enough, she reappeared. Just go to the White Queen instead. Maybe you'll find something on the way. She started to fade away again before popping back up. I forgot to ask. How's the Hatter doing? She seems to be fine. It's still tea time over there. It's always tea time with that one. Sound, bell ringing. A third time she disappeared, leaving a grin lingering in the air before that too vanished. This was a grin without without a cat instead of a cat without a grin. The third time was a charm. The cat did not return. I can't say I've seen a cat quite like that before. Then again, Cheshire really wasn't a cat. Oh! Walking a few tree lengths more, I mulled over the odd advice she gave. Find the right queen, or go up, up, down, down, left, right. Oh my god, that's just too funny. Okay, let me save. Oh, and we're in chapter 1 already. So this is chapter 1. So earlier was chapter 0, this is chapter 1. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure which one we should do though, so... and I've been recording for about 40 minutes, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave this part here. Leave a like, comment down what you think, and be sure to share this video with your friends. And also be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!